Hi everyone, I hope you're doing good. So now we are coming to the fourth video. In the previous videos, we talked about the Office 65 products, deployment methods, we did some comparison. So now this is the next video in this series where we will see when you go to customer to understand his requirement, what are the questions you should ask to him, that customer. You are representing your company. You maybe go there as a platform lead, you go there as a domain lead. So your question should be very straightforward and up to the mark. Okay. So this Excel, which I have prepared for you, will help you that what kind of question you can ask to the customer, and based on this questions answers, you can get or you can give a best product to the customer. So let's begin. We'll see what are the things we need to ask to customer. So if you see this Excel, in this Excel, I have prepared four columns, right? One is the first is the category, then requirement, user inputs, sample expected inputs. User inputs, I have kept it blank purposely. This information you need to put, right? When you go to the customer, what information you will get, then you get this information you will get from the customer. Sample is just to inform you what kind of answers you expect from customer, and requirement I just put it here, and category is a high level category from business point of view, from infrastructure point of view, from exchange point of view, collaboration, then project management, mobile device management, identity and exchange management, security, monitoring, reporting, logging. So there are multiple categories. Based on that you can choose the plan. So let's understand step by step so that you can get a better idea of it. So under business category, first question you can ask to customer, number of users to going to access the emails. So what is the exact quantity of the emails? If the emails are part of the single domain, multiple domains, all the users work under the same department, same unit, or they have multiple units, and how many total users you have in the organization, and how you're going to access the plan. Okay, so for example, in a Microsoft and Office 65, there are two plans you have seen in the previous video also. The first plan is up to 300 users, and then the next plan is unlimited. So you need to ask to customer which plan you want to go with. That's the first thing. Second thing is type of users. These emails who are going to access. Your employee going to access. Maybe you have contractors or vendors. So who are the, from customer point of view, who are going to access these emails? That is also important part here. Then third is location of users. So your users are going to access the mail from which location? Either your offices are in India, or the offices also in outside India as well. So you need to understand that as well. Okay. Then the email access. How are you going to access the email? What are the devices you are going to use? Are you going to use a laptop, desktop, mobile? This information also very critical point of view, because based on that you can choose the plan. Now, document access, right? When you do office work, you require the office productivity tool like what Outlook, Word, PPT. So there are two options. Either you can access it via online, you also access via offline. So now you have to ask customer whether you want to take online or offline. Online, maybe the cost of the productivity tool will be less. If you also require offline, then you require offline client app. So that maybe there is additional cost for that. So you have to understand this also. Then whether you require calendar, task, notes. I think it's a very basic thing because it is required for scheduling the meetings, daily work, right? Then desktop app. I just talked about. Desktop app is also plays a very important role because your cost will differ based on that. So and what are the OS you are currently using? So whether you are what are offering you are giving to customer. So you need to understand this platform: Windows, Linux, Mac OS. So you have to also make sure that your client app is available for them to download and install over there. Then mobile app. So when you're accessing these documents and mails via mobile, then what are the mobiles you're using? You have an Android, Apple. So that thing you have to ask customer, so that it will be easy for you, because this device at the end you have to manage it if they're using the mobile app. Then the internet browser support. So some customers have some restriction in their company, so they want this app, this browser should be accessible, and if they want to access the mails, only these browsers are allowed. Other browsers are not allowed. So you can ask this question to customer that you're looking for Edge, Chrome, Mozilla, what kind of browser you're looking for. The last one about IDN, internationalized domain name requirement. So you have seen the email ID like, let's take example of my email ID for example. I have email ID like sagar.pawar@gmail.com. Sagar.pawar@gmail.com, all the words are in English. But in some companies, some customer work in different geography. So they what they want that as per the government mandates, as per the company mandate, they want email ID should be in their language. Okay, so in that case, you need to make sure that your email product, what you're offering to customer, it supports IDN. So they can create an email ID based on that criteria, or they can convert that email IDs into their language, and based on that language, so you will not get a mail from them with English letters, right? The mail could be in their language, and you will see that mail from them. So move to the next, infrastructure. In infrastructure, you have to ask customer whether they're looking for DCDR DCDR setup, or they're looking for only a DC, right? Then second is about uptime. So what is the uptime they're looking for? How much time their system to be available, or the product will be available. So that also need to check. It could be 99.9%, 99.99%. So based on customer, you have to find the way to do that. Then the third is about single and multiple domain setup. It is also important. You have to understand that customer may have multiple domains. All domains are part of a single forest, or they have multiple forest in this case also, because that is very much important. Sync their credentials from on-prem to cloud. Okay, it's very, very important step. Then the third is about migration requirement. So whether they have any migration requirement, what kind of product they are using currently on their current setup, whether they have Zoho, Zimbra, Exchange, or even the Google as well, what they're using, and you also check whether whatever the platform they have, whether you have capability to migrate that Exchange from the local environment to the cloud. So that thing you also check it whether you have to use native tool, or maybe you have to use a third party tool in that case. Then the next about exchange. Okay, exchange where you have to check with the customer what is the mailbox size they're looking for. What is the growth rate of the growth rate of the that mailbox, right? Based on that, you can give a suggest the plan, because few plans give you 50 GB, few plans give you 100 GB as well. Then the recalling is sending the mail. So they need a feature where they can recall the mail which they sent, or they want to update that mail, update the send mail, so that they again change the content and again they resend it. So that feature they look for. So you can check whether this feature they look for, and whether your product can give that or no. Then the protocols. What protocol they support? They support for SMTP, IMAP, POP. These are standard protocols, but better to ask them what protocol they're looking for from us. Then the archiving. You also looking for archiving, because they cannot access all the mails every time. The old mails they want to archive. So that archive size they also need to check from them. It could be 50 GB, or it more than that. It can go up to terabyte as well. You have to check with them. Then attachment size. What is the attachment size you're looking for? Standard size is 2 to 5 MB in the organization, but may they have they're looking for more than that, then they have to check it, and you have to configure that as well for them. Then email discovery and retention, again, it's a must-have feature. You have to enable that, and you have to give this option to them so that they can discover the mails any point of time. Okay. Then they're looking for public folders. You have to give to them. Public folders is a old thing, but currently people are still looking for that. So you can have to give them. Then email groups. Email groups also, now we can use security groups, distribution group. So I hope they are aware about about the use case of the security group and distribution group. So sometimes you have to tell them as well. Some customer do not aware about these security groups of type. So you have to tell them if they're not using it, and they based on your before on based on your explanation, they may try it. Okay, but 90% they have used it. But if they need any additional explanation, then you should be ready for that. Then SMTP relay. If they have some emails and they want to integrate their mails with their exchange, or any email product, right? So that their application can send a mail to the customer or their department as well. So that information you need to take from them, Based on that, you also propose SMTP relay so that they can integrate their emails with the exchange. And next is about promotional marketing mail. A lot of companies looking for this kind of features from you. So you have to be very clear that, for example, Office 65 doesn't provide you this feature. This is not available in Office 65. So in that case, you have to select a third-party product. So you have to check with them whether they're really looking for this, and yes, then you have to suggest for that as well. And then you also need to check for the similar line that how many mails they want to send: 80,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh per day. Okay, and 10, 15 lakh per week. So you have to check that, because that is also important, because you have to take the product, so you have to pay them as well for that, right? Then the next thing about collaboration section. The collaboration is a very much feature is IMAP. Uh, I Sorry, not IMAP, is IM chat. You are checking out an instant messenger. So you have to chat with your colleague or your customer. So you require the IM chat. Then you want to make a call to them through the same platform. Then you have to check that you looking for audio capacity or no. Then sometimes you have to share your screen with the customer, or you have to present something that you require desktop sharing capability. So whether they're looking for this kind of capability or no. Then sometimes you also do video conferencing. So you are looking for this kind of video conferencing, or you need this requirement or not. You can ask, check with them. Then you can also propose them the Office 65 provide you the Yammer is an inbuilt tool through which you can socially connect to your community or your different team. Now, the next thing about the videos, right? Sometimes you have created some videos or you did some recording in the session with the customer. So that time you want to store that video, and you want to share the video with your team so that they can go through it. It could be KT video as well. So that for that kind of thing, the stream is available. So you can ask a customer whether you have this kind of requirement in future. Similarly, when you download the documents from some sites, and you want to update documents, and you want to store the document in your store, right? In that case, you can also ask the customer whether your users want to store files and document in a common place or their own store. So according to that, you can suggest the service to them. That's the kind of service available in Office 65 or in Microsoft 365, which you can adopt. Then you also need to check what are the capacity they're looking for. How much capacity do you want to enable for per user. Then moving next about project management. In a project management, you can ask the customer whether you have any future plan to create a plans for team, or you want to organize your work, something this kind of thing, because there are different kind of tools available in Microsoft which you can leverage. Now, the important part about mobile device management. In the mobile device management, you may need to register the devices. I'm saying devices of your uh, customers. Okay, the customer may want to register the devices so that they can access the mails as per the company policy, access the document as per the company's standard. Okay, so you have to enable it, or you have to apply the policies on top of that devices. So for that, you need to make sure that you need to ask customer they're looking for some kind of device support, a device monitoring, device control, through which if they're using the mobile app, then definitely there are two choices: either they can access the all the emails document through internet, or you can give them the secure environment, so that if they want to access such mails and documents, they have some kind of authentication they have to provide. Without that, they cannot access that emails or documents. Next is identity access management. In the identity access management, you need to check with customer whether they are looking for any kind of admin delegation and control feature. And now the next thing about MFA, if they're looking for any kind of MFA, multi-factor authentication, to accessing their documented documents, emails, then you can also ask for the customer about enterprise right management. This is also important, where you can access the mails within a department. Nobody can send a mail outside the department. So this kind of feature they're looking for. I'm repeating that you need to explain the customer few terminology which is they are unaware about, so that they can get a better idea and they can give you correct answer to you. Now, the next is security. Security is quite big, where you have talked about the geofencing IP based restriction. So you can restrict your users to access the mails based on the geography and IP. Then next is about the you can ask the customer whether they're looking for phishing protection, they're looking for email protection, whether they're looking for data loss prevention. Similarly, from protection from malicious URLs, malicious attachment, US spam protection, malware protection, virus protection, any kind of compliance they're looking for. A lot of companies have different standard, different industries, right? Based on their work, right? So they will mention you any kind of compliance they look for. So your product should comply that standards. Similarly, they look for any kind of secure files and folder sharing. So you can ask this question to customer, and based on that, you can suggest a plan. Okay, because this security feature may have different plan in Microsoft Office 365 or Office 365. So based on that, you can suggest the plan to the customer. Moving next about monitoring and reporting logging. So under monitoring, reporting, logging, you can check with the customer whether they want to record the admin activities, how much time or how long they want to keep the audits of their audit logs, I'm saying. So maybe they can say 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. You have to plan that out. Similarly, they can also ask that they want to move their logs to their SIM application. So they can say SIM integration they look for. So you have to ask them whether they look for this kind of thing. Then you have to tell them this about whether this is possible or not. Then security mode reporting, you can get a security report for your IT team, so that you can come to know how what are the mails are detected, right? What are the mails you receive and send, and in that mails, what are the spam you detected, what are the malwares information, or what are the mails you block, right? So a lot of information you gather from security reporting. So you can give this feature to them as well as a part of this offering. Okay, so this is all about the features and the requirement gathering, right? Based on that, you can take this information from customer and give the best plan. So thank you for watching. Keep following my channel, like my videos. Please do comment. Thank you very much.